Yeah, matters obviously from the first leg. Obviously, tweaked his knee in the first leg, and so he's out. He'll miss the rest of this season, and disappointing for him because he's been a big part of sort of this latter part of the season, particularly in Europe for us, and disappointing for him more than anything else because he was, like I said, it was a big catalyst for us, and he misses out. But that's been also a constant of our season of dealing with these things. So we'll just overcome that, and then everyone else from the first league travelled and ready to go.
Hi, Ange. When you came here with Celtic, you decided not to train on the artificial pitch, saying it made zero sense, and tonight you are. Is there a recognition there that you're learning from what happened before? Is it a different approach?
No, it was different circumstances, and it was just a different scenario with Celtic. But tonight was more about, we've done this, we did it at Frankfurt, we've done it consistently through Europe. We just feel it works better for us, and the players are used to coming the night before, training at the venue, so it made sense to do that this year.
Tom, just wait for the mic, please.
Hi, Ange. Obviously, James Maddison and Lucas Bergvall are two of your more creative midfielders. It feels like the onus might be a bit more on Dejan Kulusevski coming into this for that part of the game. What have you made of his form since he's come back from injury, and how much do you think he can step up in that void?
Yeah, look, certainly it's good to have Decky available because, obviously, like you said, with Lucas and Matters, different players, obviously, but, like I said, very creative, both of them going down in the same week. It's great that Decky's back. He obviously missed a lot of football, and it always takes a while to get his rhythm, and I feel like he's been getting stronger every game, and certainly against West Ham you can see he's starting to get his rhythm again, and the thing with him is, irrespective of kind of where he's at, he's going to work his socks off for the team. He's got an unbelievable engine, he doesn't stop running, and he'll be important for us.
Tom?
Hi, Ange. Just wondering what your mindset is going into this match, obviously with the 2-goal lead. What's been your message to the players? Is it to sort of go and win the game again, or to kind of consolidate, hold what you have?
No, I think it's just approaching it the same way we have, the rest of our campaign, really. I think away from home, we've been really, you've got to be really disciplined and organised whenever you're playing away in Europe, and irrespective of the scoreline. And I think what the lads have done well, and right through the campaign, particularly through the knockout stages in the second legs, whatever we've needed to do, they've done it, within sort of the confines of our game plan, and like I said, being organised, whether that was, we had to beat RZ at home and could have got nervy, and the boys handled that really well, and we had to go to Frankfurt and win, and tough venue and imposing sort of atmosphere, and again, I think the lads handled it really well, so it'll be a similar sort of mindset for tomorrow.
George, please.
I assume Sonny's not travelled.
Yeah.
How much of a blow is that? And also, how is Dom after missing Sunday?
Dom's good. He's ready to go. Trained fully last couple of days, so he's no problem. Disappointing for Sonny. He was pushing hard. He has progressed. Possibility of him getting some game time on the weekend for us, but he hasn't trained with the team yet. So, but he is progressing. So we'll just wait and see how he goes.
Hello, and can I ask about the comments by Arsène Wenger again? It sort of comes up that this idea that winning this competition shouldn't be a place in the Champions League. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, that's a debate that's been raging for years, mate. Like, at least the last 8 days. I've never heard that before. So, I've said it before, mate. Spurs does crazy things to people. It does. It does. You put that club into any sentence or any issue, and invariably they all come out and try and diminish as much as they can. Why wasn't it an issue before and it's an issue now? What's the difference? I don't understand what the difference is. The competition. Last year, fifth didn't get you into Champions League. This year it does. What does that mean? There were competition rules, and the rules say the winner goes into. And it's not the first year, and there isn't an asterisk against it that you have to do something else as well. But it's Spurs, mate. They love it. They love it. Oh, they love it. You love it. I don't want to go down that road because I've got a great respect for Arsène. He's one of the legends of the game. But It does crazy things to people, mate. I love it. Bring it on.
Jack, please.
It's going to upset people, so that makes me happy.
Hi, Ange. You said Spurs does crazy things to people. Do you feel like you guys are 2 games away from changing some of that narrative, changing some of those perceptions?
I don't know if it'll change it, but certainly some of it becomes redundant for sure, because a big part of, the kind of, a lot of the narrative around the club is that we haven't won for a very long time, anything. 15 years, I think, for any kind of trophy, 21 years for a European trophy, so I think that's part of it. I think some of it will still exist beyond that, but as I said, you kind of, from my perspective, how do you create a winning culture? Well, it starts with winning, and I think the more experiences you have winning, and if you can, land a trophy along the way, that certainly gives belief within the whole club that it's capable and possible of doing. But we've still got a big game tomorrow to even get through to get to a final before we can start sort of talking about that.
And Bodø/Glimt player Fredrik Sjøvold said after the last game that your pressing was very bad. What is your response to that comment?
That's okay. It's a game tomorrow. All those things will be answered.
This wasn't my original question, but I'm intrigued. You said that Spurs does crazy things to you, so...
Not to me. No.
Not to you?
No, I said to people, not to me.
To people?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I'm great. I'm definitely good, yeah.
Okay, because I was intrigued how crazy Spurs has made you.
It hasn't made me crazy at all. I was talking about other people. I wasn't talking about me. I was asked a question about, apparently there's a massive raging debate about the legitimacy of us, or Man U, potentially being in the Champions League next year, as if it's, you need to change the rules because Spurs are involved. So, yeah.
You got your match against Villa moved. Does that mean you feel you have one foot in the final?
Oh my God, really? Yeah, next question, please. I've got no idea. Yeah. You realise I'm the manager, yeah? I don't make the rules, I don't change fixtures, I'm the manager, yeah? Okay, there you go.
Playing here against Bodø/Glimt, what is the biggest challenges facing them here?
I think, as I said, I think whenever you play away from home in Europe, I think it's always challenging, it's always tough because obviously the opposition, have the normality of, the conditions and the stadium and, the crowd behind them, so all those kind of things always make it difficult. It's no different here. I think the fact that it's a semi-final is such a big game, irrespective, it's always going to be a bit tight and, really tense throughout the whole game. And, I think it's just the nature of the competition you're in and like I said, being in a semi-final that, whether it was at our place first or at our place second, it would have been the same kind of scenario of, I think 2 teams who know there's a big prize at the end and to get to a final and, they have to perform tomorrow.
Hi, Ange. Kjetil Knutsen, Glimt coach, said that the plastic pitch provides a bit of a different game. What's your assessment on that, and have you guys prepared on plastic pitch before coming here?
Yeah, it does. It's obviously different. But, again, it's, we'll train on it today. Like I said, whether it's the pitch, whether it's the atmosphere, whether it's the conditions, there's always something you need to overcome at the end of the day. You're playing in a major competition, like I said, away. There's always challenges there. Whatever that challenge needs to be, you need to overcome it, and we'll do that tomorrow.
Hi, Ange. There's been so much talk since you came here about your approach, but it felt like the Frankfurt game is kind of based on qualities that aren't talked about as much, kind of organisation, grit, and all those things. Can you talk about how important they are and how important they're likely to be tomorrow night?
Yeah, hugely. Just the nature of the competition, knockout competitions kind of demand different things from you, I think, as a team, and particularly in knockout, sort of scenarios. Just in my experience, it naturally means that you kind of have to be a little bit more sort of focused because every moment is important, every aspect of the game is important, and so it does mean that certain things you have to be really clear-headed on, and in terms of our approach. And like I said, I think the boys have handled it really well so far in the knockout stages, particularly in the second legs of every game, of understanding what needs to be done, and within the context of we still want to play our football, we still want to be aggressive, knowing what sort of parameters we can play towards to get through.
You've always said you're happy for your young players to kind of go out there, play, and make mistakes, and you won't put it on them. Does what you're saying mean you're kind of prepared to say be a bit more safety first in these scenarios?
No, because I think that happens naturally anyway. Like I said, players are, I keep saying, they're human beings. They understand as well, So there's always, I think if anything, if I put it on them even more, they become even sort of more conservative, and then you don't want that, I just think the nature of the contest means that happens anyway. So I guess that kind of reins in a lot of things on a natural basis. I don't think it's something I need to expressly say to the players. Again, my role within that is to kind of still show that there's kind of aspects of our game that are going to be really important tomorrow that are consistent in our game that we're going to have to execute as well.
Ryan, please.
Hi, Ange. Obviously, you touched on the fact Maddison and Son are missing. Have you spoken to any other players in your squad about stepping up and filling that leadership role? Because they're two of your key leaders, or do you leave it to the players to take it upon themselves?
It's fair to say we've had good practice at it, mate. We've had a fair few leaders missing the whole time. So, it's like I said, that has been a constant in our season. Different times. I don't know how many captains we've had this year, to be honest, actually leading the team out. So, I guess that's been a challenge, but the beauty of that is also it's allowed growth in some guys, whether that's Pedro or Bentancur, Basuma, Dom Solanke. They're all sort of, apart from sort of Vic and Romero, have all had to step up at different times this year because sometimes all four of our leaders, all four of our leaders have been missing. So because it's been a constant, I think it would have been more of a sort of maybe an issue for me to sort of discuss with the players, if we got hit at this point of the season and we hadn't had to deal with it before, but it's kind of something we've been dealing with all year.
Final question here at the front, please.
Hi, Ange. You spoke about how you faced many challenges throughout your managerial career. This season in particular has been really difficult. If you're able to come through this competition and win it, do you think that sends a real message about resilience in general and for yourself and your team in particular?
Yeah, look, I do think resilience is a really important commodity for sure. I think anyone who has success in whatever field it is has had to show resilience at some point. I think I think there's this notion that success just is linear and it comes really easy. It just doesn't exist. Everyone knows, anyone who's had success in their career, like I said, in whatever field or whatever vocation they pursue, will know that at some point they've had to deal with adversity. We've had to deal with a lot of adversity this year, and I'm really proud of the lads that I've said before many times this year that through that adversity they've never sort of splintered or lost or wavered belief in what we're trying to do, and we wouldn't be sitting in this position if that was the case, because there's plenty of opportunities during the year for that to happen. And I think it's a testament to them, and I think it helps you in games like tomorrow because you're going to have to deal with another challenge. But if they can sort of tap into the way they've dealt with every sort of stumble we've had this year and every challenge we've had this year, then they'll find the strength they need to get the job done tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.